Next on Broadway Profiles, Broadway Barks Across America. Stage and screen icon Bernadette Peters is here to talk about why you should adopt, not shop. Plus, Billy on the brink, a Broadway star on the rise to superstardom. The monster year on tap for Tony nominee Billy Magnussen. And he's one of the fresh new faces of Broadway. Nick Robinson talks about his role in Aaron Sorkin's To Kill a Mockingbird. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is Broadway Profiles, presented by Broadway.com. I'm so glad you could be here for another great episode of Broadway Profiles. I'm Tamsen Fadal. Bernadette Peters, in one word, iconic. A career spanning 5 decades, 3 Tony Awards, 7 nominations, and countless performances that we know and we love. And yet some might say her most important role is that of pet owner and advocate. Bernadette, along with the late Mary Tyler Moore, founded Broadway Barks, an organization devoted to finding homes for shelter dogs and cats. We caught up in Riverside Park to talk about Broadway Barks Across America. Well, first of all, what a beautiful day for this, right?
Gorgeous, perfect. And what could be better? 2 little puppies.
2 puppies, plus some, right? But let's talk about what you've been up to during this time, because I know there is still such a need with regard to animals and with Broadway Barks, and you have not let the pandemic stop you.
No, we did it because we couldn't gather in Schubert Alley. We did a virtual one, and it was called Broadway Barks Across America. So that way, we were able to help shelters all across the country, which I've been kind of wanting to do. Emmylou Harris has her own rescue in Nashville.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we added Emmylou Harris, and we added some in Los Angeles and some in the Midwest. And now the shelters were helping each other. They were seeing how there was such an overabundance of dogs in Texas.
Right.
And then 2 shelters in the East. In fact, one that these guys are with, the SPCA. They had a caravan and met in the middle and took dogs from where there were too many dogs to where dogs are needed. So
that's so great.
They're helping each other by seeing what's going on.
Well, did you see during this time more of a need because people have been inside? They've just been trying to take care of themselves, and I just didn't know if that made people adopt more or people were not adopting as much.
Well, I always knew that dogs had a really important purpose here on the earth, and now because it kind of came to fruition with the pandemic, and people really needed this kind of companionship during this time.
And there's no companionship like this.
No.
You started this with Mary Tyler Moore years ago. Were you on Broadway at the time? And how did you come up with the idea?
Yeah, I was in Annie Get Your Gun. And we had won the Easter bonnet. We raised the most amount of money. And we said, what else can we do? And I said, well, I was just at the city shelter and I saw that there was an abundance of dogs and they really need help. And there's beautiful dogs there. There's purebreds there and there's all kinds of. So we said, well, let's get permission to do an adoption event in the alley, and we'll get all the celebrities to come out between shows on a Saturday, and they love it. It's become their event, and
sure.
There's the heart of an actor is very huge and very loving. Aww. Hi, baby. Are you sleepy? What's amazing is what you realize when you're living with a dog 24/7, you realize what a large vocabulary they have.
They do,
and
right?
How you weren't understanding them. And then you realize, oh my God, you understand. Like I say to my dog, oh darling, let's not do that now, we'll do that later. She goes, okay.
All right, so for people that don't know where to find Broadway Barks and what you're going to be doing next, let's just talk about that a little bit, the next step, Broadway Barks Across America.
The next Broadway Barks virtual adoption event, and it's exciting because I'm talking to Mary Steenburgen and Ted Dancing, who I just worked with Mary on Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
Oh, great.
And I Zoomed with Mandy Patinkin and his wife, Catherine Brody, and I'm about to go Zoom with Whoopi Goldberg after I leave you.
I love
and
it.
Then Randy Rainbow, so that's fun. And then it'll be on May 23rd, Sunday night. I think it's like 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And you'll see the dogs that are in your area. We have the tri-state area, New Jersey, New York, the city, Pennsylvania, and then if you go online and you're in California, we have them in California. We have them all over, and hopefully you can find a companion.
Wonderful.
To save you.
Exactly right. Did you stay in New York during the pandemic all the time?
I did.
Yeah.
And then finally in February, when I had my first vaccination and things were loosening up a little bit, I went to Vancouver to shoot to Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. I ain't got cash. I ain't got cash. I got you, baby. La, 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 la.
What a great show, right?
I love that show. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's always so good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
So
Thanks for doing this.
One more time, the 23rd Annual Broadway Barks Across America is Sunday, May 23rd at 7 p.m. Eastern, hosted by Bernadette Peters, a bunch of other celebrities, and plenty of adoptable pets. Check out BroadwayBarks.com, and please don't miss it.
That's why I hustle hella hard, never celebrate a holiday. That'll be the day I could have finally hit the lottery. I refuse to ever lose or throw my shot away, or chalk it up as just another one that got away. So
hip-hop fans know him as Black Thought from The Roots. Late-night fans know him from The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. But theater fans are about to get to know a new side of Tariq Trotter.
When the pandemic hit, it sort of, I don't know, I went into sort of a fight or flight mode, creatively. And I did, I was able to tap into just a different sort of, productivity. I've created lots of music, more music in the past year than I probably had in the 5 years, prior. Our TV film production company, 215 Entertainment, we got, to sort of get our feet wet in the TV and film realms, and we got to executive produce some things.
Where you rotating is not the proximity. Look, it's been about more than just the flesh. It's so ill I could still never catch my breath. It's so real in the field, so protect your neck like you was in the seventh seal playing chess with death.
Did one of the first virtual music festivals with the 12th annual Roots Picnic in June, where we partnered up with Michelle Obama and her voting initiative. And then shortly after that, I want to say in July, August, we did a fundraiser for live venues around the country called Save Our Stages.
We heavyweight traction, pro bono rapping, specialized in science and mathing, original blackness, busting thoughts that pierce your mental fear, we ripping your section, vocal toe-to-toe impeccable, I switch your back, done. It's like addition and subtraction.
I was able to get in where I fit in, and all while sort of still doing the Tonight Show. The process of shooting Waiting for Godot just gave us a different insight into the material, in that, we were all sort of in our isolated spaces, working from home. Wally and Ethan and myself, we were working from home. And John was all the way in London. But through set design and editing, and just being on the same page creatively and performance-wise, it gives you, I think the final product gives you the feel of us having been in the same world. It was a blessing to be working with Ethan and John, but maybe more so than any of the parties involved. It was a blessing to work with Wallace Shawn, who is our resident Beckett expert. It was just dope to have his stamp of approval, and to be able to work on these scenes and work on this material, and then look to him for, quite literally for validation. And for him to give me the thumbs up, that was sort of everything. What this represents is the launch of the new group Offstage, which is this new venture, and they're going to be creating theatrical expressions in different media. So this one was about as different as they come, and I was really up for the challenge. And I have my own show that I'm acting in, and that I've composed and arranged, and I'm one of the producers on. That's also under the new group umbrella. It's called Black No More. We had to push Black No More back a little bit. We were scheduled to open off Broadway, I think in September, and we had to push it back a little bit, obviously. So this gave me a chance to really work on my chops and just get myself that much sharper for when it's go time with the Black No More project.
Right now, Billy Magnussen is that guy. He's a Tony nominee, and we've seen him in supporting roles in a bunch of great TV shows and movies. But soon, he's going to be the guy. Right, Paul?
Tamsen, this guy's about to rocket into the stratosphere. He's on the verge of mega stardom. Billy Magnussen was nominated for a Tony Award in 2013 for his performance in Vanya and Sonia and Masha and Spike. Plenty of good stuff since then, too, like Game Night with Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams, his performance on the epic series Get Shorty, and of course, he briefly stole the show in Disney's live-action Aladdin as Prince Anders. But that doesn't even seem to compare to what Billy has on tap for 2021.
He'll be seen in the new Sopranos prequel, The Many Saints of Newark. You can watch him on the HBO Max series Made for Love, and he'll be in one of the biggest films of the year, the new James Bond movie, No Time to Die.
Gogoltech's newest endeavor is a chip implanted into couples' brains to merge their thoughts.
Hazel and I are users one.
You are on the buzzed about show right now, Made for Love on HBO Max. Let's talk about Byron Gogol, right?
Christina Lee and Alyssa Nutting wrote the novel Made for Love, created this character. He's a tech billionaire, has his own company, a little bit of a sociopath, recluse, out there. But with creating this character in the show, I do think, I looked at Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and seen that, but I do think this character is the personification of toxic masculinity. And that is the way to get into who he really is on the other side. This character just actually wants to fall in love and be loved and have a connection that is meaningful.
And his way of finding love and connection is by putting a chip inside his wife's head.
Coming from my character's point of view, which, no one's the villain in their story, that everyone's the hero in their own narrative. We've all been in relationships where you're like, hey, tell me how you feel. Be authentic, be honest. And they don't tell you the truth. And then they hold you accountable for not changing to how they feel without ever actually opening up and sharing.
There's always a new Billy Magnussen project. Makes me very happy. I'm a fan of yours. I know that you're in the Bond movie. Talk about Bond.
To be a part of such a Hollywood staple, it blows my mind. It's crazy. You pinch yourself all the time and you're just like, God, I can't believe it. This happened.
8 years ago, you were nominated for a Tony Award. Remember that? And you were in Every Night, making everybody laugh in Vanya, Sonia, Masha, and Spike in your Calvin Klein's. During the pandemic, didn't people get to see it online?
I got to watch. That was the first time I've seen it.
Oh, wow.
It was so emotional for me to watch it because that was over a year of my life. I had Sigourney Weaver, David Hyde Pierce, Christine Nielsen there. It just taught me and inspired me and helped me grow. And, the lessons I learned from them and the memories I have, I'm forever grateful to them.
Do you see that time in Vanya and Sonia as a real launching pad for you into this amazing career?
Just having the opportunity to perform on Broadway is a dream in and of itself. I just want to say that, hands down, is one of the greatest achievements I've ever had in my life. But I do think that was a catalyst for a big part of my career because it did help me spring to or the awareness of my career. But I also owe every job before that because that led me to Vanya. There's not one thing in my career where I regret doing. It's taken me down this path and it's made me the man I am.
Don't go anywhere. There's still a lot more to talk about on this edition of Broadway Profiles. Coming up, he's one of the fresh new faces of Broadway and one of the young stars of Aaron Sorkin's To Kill a Mockingbird. You're going to get to know Nick Robinson. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is Broadway Profiles. Aaron Sorkin's To Kill a Mockingbird took Broadway by storm in 2018, and it was still one of the hottest tickets in town right up till the shutdown. As of now, it's coming back to Broadway, and it's also going on a national tour in 2021-2022. In the Broadway production, Nick Robinson plays Jem Finch, and he's this week's fresh face.
I really have extremely fond memories of growing up in Seattle. I grew up, going into the outdoors a lot and kind of being in nature and allowed the freedom to have this big imagination. I found myself drawn towards, performing relatively early. I ended up doing some community theater in Seattle and I loved it. My first role was the Monkey King in The Wiz, and knocked him dead. It came very naturally to me. I'd already spent a lot of my time sort of, make-believe and pretending, and this was just a natural sort of extension of that. I did To Kill a Mockingbird at the Intiman Theater with Bart Shear when I was about 12. And so this is like a very surreal full circle moment on so many levels. There's a lot to admire, I think, about Jem. He's a very truthful character. He's got a lot of heart. He's sort of one of the more fiery aspects of the Finch family. He is constantly at odds with his dad, especially in this particular adaptation. But what I think Jem ultimately has is this very strong sense of the world and moral compass and sense of right and wrong, which I admire. And he has the kind of moxie to really stick by his beliefs and fight for them and be outspoken. Broadway has definitely been a bucket list item for me. Having started in theater and kind of coming back to theater, especially in this show with this personal history that I have attached to it, is really pretty special. Couldn't have asked for it to work out any better than it did, and just very happy to be a part of this production.
Still ahead, it is a miracle they can walk, much less dance. After the break, the incredible story of how Mars Rucker battled a deadly childhood illness only to survive and thrive on the Broadway stage. We'll be back in just a few. When Broadway returns, it is one of the shows we are most excited to see, the Tina Turner musical. It's got all the great songs, incredible performances, terrific dancing, and a ton of energy. Mars Rucker originated the role of Tina Turner's sister. It's an incredible real-life story. Paralyzed as a child, now Mars is dancing on the Broadway stage.
I grew up in Houston, Texas, and my childhood was a vibrant one. Always in dance class, and then when I was 6, I actually got transverse myelitis, so I was paralyzed from my entire body down except for my left arm and my face for like a year, and went into rehab, and then had a miracle situation where I regained my ability to walk, but I had to go to rehab and relearn everything, and got back into dance when I was like 7, 8. I was told that I was not going to be able to move ever again in my life, or I would die because it would go to my heart and my heart would become paralyzed. So my expectation was that I wouldn't be able to move, so I kind of got into watching film and watching dance. So once I was able to get back into it, it was this different drive for it that I had never had before. Stepping back into dance after that was incredibly emotional. My movement was different because I still have no feeling on parts of my legs, so I had to kind of relearn how to move. But it was also this incredibly grateful moment for me to step back into a studio and be able to dance after not expecting to ever be able to move again in my life. Singing, acting, and dancing was very separate for a long time because I did not know what theater was until I saw Glee, which is very cliche. I think it's incredibly important to represent people who look like me and are like me. I am non-binary, which that representation is not high on Broadway, and that's been incredibly exciting, but also terrifying. Representation saves lives, and especially for Black non-binary people, we are not often represented. Art has been about me working for the people, and I specifically like to speak for the forgotten voice that has not been heard. I'm excited to be able to step into that position or opportunity here.
Even though Broadway remains closed, that doesn't mean you can't look like a Broadway star. This week, we're profiling Intermission Beauty, a young company that makes lipsticks inspired by Broadway shows and shades made specially for our favorite leading ladies.
Hi, my name is Douglas Otero, and I'm the owner and creator of Intermission Beauty. Intermission Beauty basically came to me from every time I did somebody's makeup, they'd say, "What lipstick color is this? I love it," or "What did you put on my lips?" And that's where the wheels started to turn, and I was like, I think I'm on to something here. I had the idea. I knew I wanted to call it the Broadway Diva series. I just wasn't sure how I was going to execute it. The lipsticks are used in Broadway shows. Donna Murphy, Kayla Settle, Stephanie J. Block, Carrie Butler, Eden Espinoza. Orphe and Andy Carl had just contacted me to glam and groom them for one of their concerts. I had never met them before. And I said to her, hey, you're an animal nut like I am, right? How would you feel if I made you a lipstick, we partnered? And that's how Bend and Snap came to be. We took the net amount to be able to make more lipsticks, and then the rest of the proceeds went to the ASPCA and the Humane Society. We're now able to give to more than just 2 organizations, rescues. I mean, it's been a labor of love, but to say I'm proud of it is truly an understatement.
And that's going to do it for us. Until next week, I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is Broadway Profiles, presented by Broadway.com.